So the Treaty of Paris of 1783 ends the American Revolution once and for all. The American ambassadors send to Paris Benjamin Franklin, John Adams, and John Jay, three of the most prominent American statesmen at the time. The Continental Congress instructed them to follow the lead of the French in the negotiations to really end the war, but they pretty much ignore that. And as a result, France really gets left out of all the good stuff of the treaty. They really don't get as much as they probably deserve. And they really negotiate, Franklin, Adams, and Jay, they negotiate for complete U.S. independence. It's time for America to become its own country in the eyes of the British. And this is a major, major turning point in U.S. and world history. In America, sentiments of independence run rampant through the states, and it begins a whole lot of movements for other people's independence, including slaves and women. And internationally, the French go through their own revolution, mostly because they owed so much money and their economy was in shambles after America's revolution, and other revolutions throughout Europe take place as well. But to get an idea of really what the outcome was of the Treaty of Paris of 1783, it helps to look at a map. This map tells us a little bit about how the continent has changed by the treaty in 1783. Let's start with the United States. The United States on this map is shown in brown. You'll notice that the 13 states, the original 13 states, are still there, but you'll notice that they have been given the land all the way west to the Mississippi River, where that brown ends. The Treaty of Paris of 1783 effectively doubled the size of the young nation, so America came out of this as big winners. It also helps that they gained their independence permanently in the eyes of the British. Americans were also allowed to fish off of the coast of Nova Scotia, which is in really eastern Canada, so they get fishing rights up there as well. The British, they're basically forced north into Canada. That's really the only place left where they have any sort of dominance. And as a result, British Empire in North America is really limited here, where they had so much land just a few years earlier. They've been really cut to nothing. Spain makes out as huge winners in this treaty. You'll notice that Spain has Florida back. That is green for them. They get a whole lot of islands in the Caribbean still. But you'll also notice Spain gets a whole lot of land west of the Mississippi. That's still theirs, along with what is today Mexico. So Spain makes out of this pretty good. Like I said before, France doesn't get a whole lot. They were left out of the negotiations, and they pretty much spent millions and millions of dollars to help the Americans. All they really got out of this, though, was a couple Caribbean islands, and they were able to maintain some of their territories overseas or get them back from the British after the 7 Years' War. But for the most part, France really doesn't get anything in North America, so they sort of get the short end of the stick in this regard. But if we're looking at this map, we have to know that the United States has basically doubled its land size. They now have all the land east of the Mississippi River and up to the Great Lakes and down south up to Florida, which is Spanish at this time. The British are forced into what is today Canada, nothing else really. And we know that the Spanish gain huge amounts of land west of the Mississippi River. So if we understand how the Treaty of Paris has affected the New World after 1783, we're going to be good to go. Remember, if you have any questions, you definitely want to review the videos, and good luck.